Welcome to Hero Power. I'm your host, Avanties, and as always, I'm joined by my co host, Zerotio.
What is up, gang? We are in week one of Stormwind. Um, just getting right into my week. Uh, kind of pushing up. I got up to Diamond 5 just before the set came out. And I've been playing good decks, and I'm kind of hovering around Diamond 3 again with my second job. I don't get that much time to play quality ladder games, working 60 hours a week. But I am slowly climbing. And once I get to Legend, I'm probably going to start whipping out the Elwyn board decks and the OTK decks and the fun decks that I love to play. So I'm going to try to push probably Legend this weekend. And then next weekend I have some family stuff going on. But aside from that, I can probably push for the fun decks and maybe some content.
Man, I wish I could edit video like Trollden. I would so put in a cut of the scene of the sheriff arriving in Blazing Saddles, but instead it's got your face. He's like, "Pardon me while I whip this out," and he reaches into his pants, pulls out an Elwyn boar.
Yeah. That movie did not age well. Just saying. But other than that, kind of just keeping at the grind. School year's about to start, so my wife's back to working at school. So time's hectic right now with her work schedule, my work schedule. There's not a lot of time for video games, and when I do have time for video games, I'm usually, putting down on some pain cream on my legs and taking some ibuprofen and taking a nap.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of tough being a legend grinder. I was hoping I could be legend already, but this should be able to get it by the end of the weekend. Other than that, that's kind of been my week. How's your week been?
So I started the week absolutely on fire, playing a lot of Hearthstone right after launch.
Nice.
In fact, I was on Tuesday when the set launched, right at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific, and I played quite a bit. Knocked out. I had 6 quests saved up going into set release.
Nice.
So I was able to really get a good jump on the rewards track. I right out of the gate, I rolled a version of a deck I saw Brian Kibler playing, and it's an Evolve Shaman that we're going to play tonight on the show. I had a crazy run with that deck. I went 6-1. And most of the decks I was playing against were quests that were trying to pull off the quest, and I was just killing them before then, or battle cry shamans. And I was really surprised at how many battle cry shamans I was running up against using that auctioneer gavel, because as an Evolve Shaman, I was just absolutely destroying them. I mean, it wasn't even close.
And Battlecry Shaman is not really even. I don't even think it's in the tier 3. I don't even know if it's tier 4 on HS Replay.
Yeah,
I haven't really seen that deck, but then
so many of them, and of course, I had just started the season, so I was in bronze leveling up because I didn't play any the first few days of the month. I waited until the set launched to log in and play. So,
well, we'll be talking more about our thoughts on the meta, and the new set and that kind of stuff. I will say I don't think we've done a show since the launch. Well, we haven't done a show since the launch, but I was able to get all the cards for the set, and I only opened a handful of packs with gold. I think I still have like more than 2,000 gold left.
So that's
I
where my
only
luck
craft
went. Okay.
I only crafted a couple of legendaries, and then I was so close. I was like, you know what? Let's just open like 10 packs at a time,
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't looking for legendaries, because I knew if I went down the rewards track, I'd eventually get them all. I was looking for epics.
Gotcha.
That's where I was kind of deficient. It was in my epic draw. So I opened 10 packs and I got an epic. So I opened another 10 packs and I actually got 3 epics in 10 packs.
Wow.
And then uh, I needed 2 more epics, and it took 20 more packs to get the last 2 epics I needed. So I only bought 40 packs with gold,
Mm-hmm.
and I played some duels. So I think I'm sitting. I think I'm closer to 4,000 gold. I think I got 2,000 dust.
Yeah.
I've actually crafted. I crafted Golden Curiel
Okay.
because I'm loving this buff paladin, and she's really good in it. It's this Divine Shield buff paladin.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what? Why don't I have her in golden? Because I got most of the other uh, paladin legendaries in golden that are in the deck. So I was like, let's just craft her in golden. So
Well,
that's where my death went.
I definitely did not have as good a luck with this set as I've had with past sets. I ended up opening 192 packs total. So that would be the 142 that I got from both bundles and the Tavern Brawl, plus another 50 packs worth of gold. And as of the recording of this show, I am missing 7 cards from the set, 5
Okay.
legendaries and 2 epics.
Well, you'll get 2 legendaries from the rewards track if you haven't already gotten one.
I have
Um,
already gotten one, and
okay.
I think I get the next one at like third. No, where is it? It's level 50. I'll get the next one at level 50
Yeah.
on the rewards track.
And
Which after the first week, I'm happy to say I'm already at level 30.
they had a thing. I had every card unlocked, and they had a thing where the achievement to get the golden not variant, it was the golden dark bishop benedictus
Uh huh.
was broken because it wasn't counting variant as one of the legendaries. So I thought I would just craft variant because you can get a full dust refund,
Uh huh.
and it still didn't count. But they hot fixed that. I think I checked it yesterday, and I gotten the achievement.
Do
So
you
I
know
have the.
do you know why that was happening? Because I have the scoop on why that was
I
happening.
don't. I don't.
So that was happening because of a bug that was not counting Flightmaster Dungar as part of the set. So
Oh, so it wasn't.
because
It
we got
wasn't.
because we got Dungar early when the set
Gotcha.
released, it was only seeing a 134 card set because it wasn't counting Flightmaster Dungar.
So
They
it
did
was
hot fix
counting
that.
Varian.
Correct. It was
It
counting
was
Varian. It was not
Dungar.
counting the Flightmaster you already
Okay.
had. So that
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 makes
got hot fixed
sense.
in. Yep.
That makes sense because I did some things where I was looking for missing cards in. That's another thing that I hope they fix. If you look for missing in your collection manager, like
Mm-hmm.
you sort for Stormwind then missing, it doesn't take into account your goldens.
Right.
So if you have a golden legendary, it'll say you're missing it,
That is
even
correct.
though you technically aren't missing it. So you be careful with that because you can miscraft some cards
Mm-hmm.
thinking you're crafting something you're missing, and you're not. So be very, and there's not an easy way to sort. Like if you sort for goldens in the crafting manager, it only sorts goldens. You can't add goldens to the list.
Okay.
You can't look for regulars and
So
goldens.
maybe they fixed that because I just went to Stormwind and typed in missing, and it's actually only showing me the 5 legendaries, 6 legendaries that I'm missing.
Are
I,
you sure
I,
one of
I'm
those isn't golden?
I am positive I do not have the ones that I'm missing. I know I don't have Jackson. I know I'm missing the Warlock quest and the Priest quest. I know I don't have either of the Paladin cards, and I only have one Hunter Legendary. I'm missing the Rat King.
Okay. Because I'll have to double check it later. I know at launch, the day after the launch, it was doing that. And I know it's been a big complaint a lot of people had. Maybe they hot fixed that when they fixed the Dungar issue. I'll have to check that later.
But yeah, it was a good week in Hearthstone leading up to this point. So
yeah, I mean, I'm having. I know we're getting a little bit into Stormwind talk, but I'm just really liking this set launch.
Yeah. So let's give our update for the news, and then we'll jump right back into the Stormwind talk. So this week it was announced that J. Allen Brack will be stepping down as president of Blizzard Entertainment, and in his place, that we will see co-leaders of the company, Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra. They are going to what Blizzard describes as co-lead moving forward. So, Zerotio, what are your thoughts about? So, what I saw this described as one. I saw this described one way. Mike Morhaime was CEO and president of Blizzard Entertainment. He stepped down, and you got J. Allen Brack, who was just president of Blizzard Entertainment.
Yes.
Now he's stepping down, and we're getting co-leaders. Does it sound like we're reducing the titles at the top of Blizzard, and maybe this is focusing more on the leadership at Activision now?
I really think it's just titles. There's a lot of marring with the title of president. So they're just calling them co-leaders because, it's what do you call two people other than a two-headed giant? What do you call two people in charge of a company? And Morhaime, CEO because he was the CEO. He was one of the CEOs of the company, and so I really think this is just semantics. When it comes down to it, Bobby Kotick has been in charge, is in charge, and will always be in charge. And if we think that this change in title is just solidifying that Activision is in charge of Blizzard, that's been going on since J. Allen Brack took over. We knew that J. Allen Brack was a Activision yes man. He always has been. And I don't think that I personally think that Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra are both also Activision kind of yes men or yes women in their case, yes people. They're going to do what's in the best interest of the parent company, which is Activision. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing for this situation.
Yeah, so neither Mike nor Jen have been at the company very long.
Well, Mike's been here 2 years.
Mike joined in 2019. He came from Xbox. And Jen just started in January of 2021. And she was the former head of Vicarious Visions Studio, which was absorbed into Blizzard.
Yeah, I want to say that was part of the acquisitions that were along with the King and all that kind of stuff that came. That was acquisition that came later when they were starting to acquire some of those mobile titles and mobile studios. So I'm not. I'll be honest. I love that they've appointed a female as one of the co-leaders of Blizzard. I just don't know if Jen O'Neill's the right representative because she's also been very outspoken about supporting Blizzard in this whole lawsuit,
Mm-hmm.
saying that she hasn't had these kind of things, but she's only been there for 4 months, so she hasn't openly acknowledged the wrongdoing, which I wouldn't expect that to happen. But she's also not openly supported the females in the company in their fight in this walkout. So I don't know if she's the best representative. Now she may surprise me, and I hope she does. And
Mm-hmm.
then Mike Ybarra, I think, is just somebody else in the company that Activision believes will be good for this situation. Now, in the long run, do I think these two people will be good for the players? Probably not, because they're going to have Activision's financial gain and financial, situation in mind when it comes to developing games and putting out content and pushing the developers to do their job. However, I do think just because Activision is trying to save face right now, it is a good thing that these two are in this position for specifically for the workers. So I'm glad they did this.
Okay. So yeah, that was the big news that hit this week. Later in the week, we also found out that Blizzard's head of human resources, Jesse Meschuk, which I'm probably mispronouncing, Meschuk maybe, is
Something
also
like
no longer with Blizzard. Unlike the J. Allen Brack announcement, here they didn't really give a whole lot of details as to whether he left on his own or was removed. They just kind of said he's no longer with the company. Which,
Yeah.
most of the complaints from the employees were, we went to HR about this and were told, oh, never mind, it'll be fine, or they took our complaint and then buried it. So is this just the next logical step in the healing process, is to get rid of the head of HR who obviously was not taking these complaints seriously?
I suspect that this relieving of duty of Jesse Meschuk happened shortly after the lawsuit details went public. I don't think the J. Allen Brack, the J. Allen Brack leaving, and there was a little confusion. J. Allen Brack is whether he was still with the company, just stepped down, but it was confirmed that he is no longer with Blizzard. I think this head of HR, Jesse Muschek, happened quite a bit before J. Allen Brack was relieved of his duties, and it's the right thing to do. And they didn't talk about it because they don't even want it being talked about. Jesse Muschek had a lot of bad heat, bad publicity. Not just the fact that he pushed stuff under the rug, but it's been publicly discussed that some people at Blizzard did not even feel comfortable speaking to human resources because they knew Jesse was in good graces with the people they were complaining about. And as an HR head, you can't do that. I've worked with lots of big companies, and you can't be the head of HR and be seen out drinking with people in the company or hanging out with people in the company in a way that would undermine or sway your decision to assist the workers in filing complaints against those same people. You need to be very separated. And obviously Jesse Muschuk was not, and a better person needs to put in their place. Now, they didn't come out and say who is in that position, which they really don't need to, or if they've even hired anybody for that position. They may just have the HR department splitting up the duties right now until they can find a suitable replacement, which I assume will be part of this whole walkout situation that's happening. And one thing I want to make clear, we have the employees performing walkouts and basically protesting everything that's going on over at Blizzard. And a lot of people think the walkouts are happening because of the lawsuit. No, the walkouts are happening because of the work conditions at Blizzard, which resulted in the lawsuit.
Right.
Regardless of the lawsuit, it was just a matter of time until the players got fed up. The employees got fed up and started protesting in this way or other ways.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened to the lawsuit just happened to bring light to these situations, which is a good thing, and hopefully we start seeing change. And there's a lot of people that are not supporting Blizzard Studios right now, justifiably, because the workers are being mistreated or not fairly treated, whether it be pay or workloads or whatnot, especially when it comes to female workers.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to change.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right. I think that pretty much covers the update there and most of the news. Well,
there is one more thing I wanted to mention in this is a lot of people are saying with Jalen Brack, leaving the company and being replaced, and with Jesse Muschuk, being taken out of the head of HR and obviously eventually being replaced, that this is what we need to see for action for the employees. I disagree.
I also strongly disagree.
This is just the cream.
So, listen, the employees put forth 4 requests to corporate. Not one of those has been addressed yet.
Yes. Now, I do think these 2 changes need to take place so that the right people can be put into place to make the decisions on those 4 requests and more if more are needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think this is the start, but this is literally just the start. We need to see the new leaders, new management take over and negotiate these changes, because obviously J. Allen Brack and the head of HR weren't in the right position to negotiate these changes with the employees, and so this is a good thing, but we do need to keep pressuring Blizzard to move forward with this with the new leadership. If it's going to take some time to decide who takes over those positions, they need to go ahead and do that so that they can start negotiating and making it right by the employees. I am happy with what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard and Activision are doing the right things for now. I just want to make sure we push this forward. We will continue to report on this because we want to make sure that our listeners, get the right story so they can decide when and if there is a time to go back to supporting Blizzard.
Okay. All right. So let's jump into our United and Stormwind discussion. So, we talked quite a bit about it at the top of the show, but let's dive in a little more. So right now, Zerotio, what are you seeing out there on the ladder that you would say would be considered if you were making the tier list, what would be your tier 1, tier 2? Give me a breakdown of what you're seeing and what you think is really good right now.
So Paladin is top of the heap right now. Specifically hand buff Paladin, which is the Divine Shield hand buff Paladin. It uses the Divine Shield synergies. It is pretty much the top dog in my eyes, and according to HS Replay, it is the number 1 deck. Now, the difference between Paladin being number 1 now as opposed to Paladin being number 1 when Barons came out is it's only sitting about 1.7% higher than the next deck underneath it, which is good. And according to HS Replay's data, that next deck is Shaman. Now, I'm not seeing I'm seeing a lot of Shaman, but I'm not having too much trouble. The Shaman that's really good right now is the aggressive Elemental Shaman, and I think it might just be that I've played against it so much in the last meta that I play well against it. But it's doing really well according to HS Replay's data. Hunter is really good. I would have expected it to be kind of the next deck down from Paladin. The Face Hunter, along with the Face Hunter with the Quest, are both two really good ways to play Hunter. And then sitting in fourth on HS Replay, where I would actually put it as third, is Mage. And there's a few variations of Mage, but the no minion Mage is the way to go right now with the Quest. And there's also a Quest variation that uses Gadgets and Auctioneer. It's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another, because either you're using the Auctioneer to kind of pump out these low-costed ignites and then send them to face, or you're using draw spells in your deck like Arcane Intellect, or I'm blanking on the name, but I'll have it in a second. Cram Sessions to because with Cram Session, after you complete the quest, you're drawing 4 cards after you play the legendary. So that can kind of draw you into burn, and in a lot of cases, are two mana fireballs and so forth. Now, Mage kind of took a hit and dropped really low because other decks, and the mirror specifically, were just not playing minions, and most of your frost spells rely on minions, so you weren't able to advance the quest because there were no targets in the frost spells. But I know in my deck, I've taken out the Apexis blasts, because in the mirror you don't want to summon a minion because your opponent, who's also playing no minion Mage, can use their frost spells on your minion. And usually with the 5-cost minions, they're so big that you can't use your frost spells and kill it off, so it stays on the board for your opponent. Well, I rely on Primordial Studies to give me a low-cost minion that I can then target with Brain Freeze and kill it off myself. And some decks have been running 2 Ice Barriers because those are frost spells. But I'm finding out if my opponent's not playing minions or not attacking face, my Ice Barrier doesn't pop. So I'm running the Oasis Allies and an Ice Barrier because they're both frost spells. And so I'm finding I'm able to complete my quest a little better because I've got 2 spells in the deck that don't rely on minions. And then I have, for the third option, there is a way to summon at least 1 minion to use a Brain Freeze on it. And I'm seeing much better success with that deck. There are ways to tech your no minion Mage to kind of account for the meta. And if you're seeing a lot of the mirror match, that's the way I would handle it.
Okay. All right. Cool. So let's talk about what we're playing. So as I mentioned at the top of the show, the first deck I played out of the gate is Evolve Shaman, and we're going to play a version of that here in just a few minutes. But I also created a standard quest Pirate Warrior, which Juggernaut, so good.
It is good.
And easy to get out. And then I've also been playing a version of a Quest Hunter. And again, machine gun hunter, really good. In fact, on the second day of the expansion, I completed an achievement for using your hero power 6 times in one turn to do 12 points of damage.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of fun so far. I have built a Shadow Priest but I have not had a chance to play it yet. so I don't know how well it's going to do, but I'm excited to get some time behind the wheel of Shadow Priest.
So I've been playing the Paladin deck, the hand buff Paladin, and no minion mage. I've tried a few other decks. I obviously tried the Warlock self damaging deck, the Quest deck, and I've ran Quest Druid, which I really like Quest Druid. I think I think it needs a couple more small tools, but ultimately it's very very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried a few other small decks here, but ultimately I go back to Paladin and Mage right now because I'm sitting in Diamond. The decks I want to play, so I want to play the Shadow Priest, and I did play against a very aggressive low cur Shadow Priest that was just had lots of small minions and even had like minion buffs and that kind of stuff. I want to play it, and then so I'm either facing a lot of Paladins or I'm facing a lot of Quest decks, whether that be Quest Priest, Quest Warlock, Quest Mage, any Quest Hunter. And I saw a deck that was a anti-Quest Priest. And it's Control Priest. And it only has one minion in the entire deck.
Okay.
And it's Elucia.
Okay.
And then it has the Corrupt card, I forget the name of it, that's 2 mana. If it's corrupted, it draws a minion and reduces its cost by 2. And you draw Elucia. So Elucia ends up being 1 mana. And you can usually get that corrupted fairly early in the game. And basically at that point, you just play control, don't let your opponents develop anything, and wait for them to finish their quest. And in most cases, they finish their quest and plan to play the quest reward the next turn. And you Elucia them and play it yourself.
Oh, wow.
Which pretty much, the only thing you're giving them are control tools. So sure, they clear your board. But then when you get your deck back, they don't have their quest reward. You continue to have a deck that's just control, and you just basically lock them out of their win condition and keep healing, and they can't do enough damage to beat you, and you ultimately end up winning in fatigue.
Which is really interesting because, you know, if you go on Twitter and you read through the Hearthstone Twitter pages, everybody's like up in arms that control is a non-archetype in this meta. They're like, there is no control because it's either tempo or aggro, or you're dead.
That's true. That's true. Well, it's either OTK or aggro.
Yeah.
You're either doing some kind of OTK. I know one of the big OTKs right now is basically Demon Hunter has taken the quest, which is just a draw engine, and just put it in their OTK Demon Hunter with Il'gynoth. And it just wins. You can actually pull the Il'gynoth combo. I saw it as early as turn 7.
Yeah.
Because of the cost reductions from the quest. I know Brian Kibler has a clip where he was like, it's turn 7. There's no way they can be comboing me. And sure enough, he's like, it's turn 7. How? So one of the biggest opponents of OTK has been aggro. And OTK in this set can go so fast, it can still compete with aggressive decks.
Yeah.
Because of that, you really don't need control. Because your OTK decks, your combo decks, end up being control enough or aggressive enough to push that win condition so fast that control decks are kind of pushed out of the way. The Pirate Quest Warrior started out as a control build, and people found it was just bad. But they've kind of gone more to a tempo-based Pirate Quest Warrior, and it's working better. So I do think. So first off, I think there are tools to counter these quest decks. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's just quest decks, and there's no way to beat them when they complete their quest." No, there is. I just mentioned one with the Lucia and Priest, and then another one is Mutanus.
Yeah.
Against Quest Mage specifically, they don't play any other minions. So if they finish their quest, and usually they don't play it the turn, that's been something I've been doing, is I've been trying to make sure I complete my quest with Quest Mage and then play it that turn. I don't care if it dies, because I got the +3 spell damage. But if they wait an extra turn, you can just Mutanus and beat them.
Yep.
And the same goes, it's not so much for the Quest Warlock, because Quest Warlock usually does complete their quest and play the quest reward the same turn, because they have mana, because they're using their health as mana, because of Soul Stealer. But most of the other quests, usually they don't play at that same turn. And, the Hunter, the Druid, the Mage, the Priest especially, they don't necessarily play at that turn. And Priest is real bad, because they spent all their mana completing the quest. They have to wait till next turn. Yeah. They had to play an 8 or 9 cost card. So Mutanus is a great counter for that. If you're playing Rogue, just put a Deviant, the Savory Deviant Delight. Is that the spell that turns a minion in their hand to a pirate?
Yes.
You can play that. There's lots of ways to counter these quests that people just haven't taken the time to implement. I know in competitive play, especially on the ladder, people think tech cards are just horrible. You just don't put tech cards in your deck. Well, maybe this is what we need. Maybe we need tech cards right now. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. That's why those cards are in the game. So, and that's why they gave tradable to a lot of these tech cards. So you can
let's talk about that for just a minute. How are you liking tradable one week in? Because I find I'm using it a lot.
It's amazing, because there's a lot of decks where I would try to discover tools. Discover a spell, or discover a minion, or discover a card that's going to deal with what my opponent's doing. And I'm finding myself not wanting to discover a random option. I'd rather draw in my deck for something that exists. So when I get to discover, if I see a tradable card in the discovery pool, I just take the tradable card, trade it into my deck, hoping to draw what I know I have in my deck that deals with it.
Yeah.
So it's really created some versatility, especially if you're discovering to try to find a tool to counter what your opponent's doing. Don't find it, but you find a tradable card. Then you can trade, maybe get another discover option, or a card that discovers, or get a card in your deck that deals with whatever they're doing. So I do really like tradable, and I like this set. I know a lot of people love board-based strategies. I've never been a fan of relying on a board to win a game. I like dealing with combos and spell scenarios, things like that. And this set, it's almost like it's tailor-made for me. And I hope tradable gets the traction it needs to come back like Discover.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for our week 1 Stormwind coverage. Are there any decks you haven't played yet that you're looking forward to playing?
Elwyn board decks.
See, I want to play the Dude Paladin deck, but I don't have I didn't get either of the Paladin legendaries.
Okay, so I made a Quest Dude Paladin, and I have tried it with secrets, and it did really, really well. But it didn't seem to match up to the hand buff. And I've tried it with Librams, and it didn't do well, mainly because control's not good right now, and mainly the Librams are there to act as a control element, have that extra healing, things like that. However, I do think going the secret route, the reason I like the secret route specifically was to counter the mage. Because there were a couple times that instead of playing Quest on One, I played Praise Yogg
Oh.
and countered their quest.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, they have the coin, so technically they should have played the
Coin.
coin,
Yeah.
and they didn't. Now, obviously, that's something they can play around,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's very interesting uh, having Yogg in the pool against, because even if you don't counter their quest, countering one of their frost spells specifically, if it gets countered, it's not counted as a frost spell according to their quest line. So now they have to find a scenario that they can play a frost spell, which is really hard. That's the hardest part of that quest is fulfilling this situation with frost spells. So if you counter their frost spell, they might have a hard time, first off, generating or drawing the next frost spell, and second of all, having the situation where they can play the frost spell.
Right.
Especially if the frost spell turns into a removal that's not frost, that kills your minion they were targeting with the frost spell. Now you don't have a minion on the board for them to target with the frost spell, might delay them an extra turn. So I do want the secret variation of the dude paladin, the quest paladin, to work. And I want to test it more once I get in Legend.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that pretty much covers our week 1 coverage. Let's talk about this deck we're going to play tonight. So, as I said,
Yeah.
it is an Evolve Shaman, and this is a version of a deck I saw Kibler playing on day 1.
I have played the Kibler version, and I liked it. There were a few things I didn't like, which you've made changes specifically to that in this deck.
Yeah, so let's run down my version of the deck list, and we'll talk about the changes from the Kibler version. So my version runs 2 Lightning Blooms, 2 Revolves, 1 Bolner Hammerbeak, 2 Cage Match Custodians, 2 Encumbered Pack Mule, 2 Bogstrok Clackers, 1 Instructor Fireheart, 2 Pitmasters, 2 Primal Dungeoneers, 2 Serpent Shrine Portals, 2 Canal Sloggers, 1 copy of Dunk Tank, 2 Bogspine Knuckles, 1 Cornelius Rome, 1 Lady Prestor, 2 copies of Tiny Toys, 1 Selfless Sidekick, and 2 Goldshire Knolls. So the big change from my deck to his deck was he was running Derailed Coaster in a 5 slot, which, if you're not familiar, Derailed Coaster is a 5-mana minion. When it with a battle cry, summon a 1/1 rider for each minion in your hand. Okay. So it fills your board, but the 1/1 riders are just 1-mana minions.
Yes.
So when you evolve them, they become 2-mana minions. So it's not that powerful. Yeah. So I ended up taking those out, and I added Instructor Fireheart because I feel like she's just really versatile, and in the late game, you can get 4, maybe even 5 spells off of her and play them same turn. And then I added, we already had Serpent Shrine Portals in the deck, so I added 1 copy of Dunk Tank for a little more removal / direct damage to face, if needed.
So here's my question, and I had this question with the original version from Kibler, and I noticed you still have this card in the deck. Bolner Hammerbeak, what does he do in this deck? I mean, I've played him in a corrupt Yashiraj combo deck. I just don't see him having that much use in this deck.
So one of the primary things is I combo him with Bogstrok Clacker. So Bogstrok comes into play, Battle Cry, evolve the 2 minions adjacent to 1 level higher. Then you play Bolner, and you replay that Battle Cry, so you're getting a double evolve on those minions.
But you'll have to have another battle cry after you play Bolner.
Bolner says after you've played a Battle Cry, play Bolner, repeat the first Battle Cry played this turn.
Yeah, so you play the Bogstrok, then you play Bolner. You have to play another battle cry to repeat that. So I mean,
I haven't
if you play the
actually- I haven't-
Bogstrok after
I
Bolner,
haven't. I've played 7 games with this. I haven't drawn Bolner yet.
yeah. See, I've drawn Bolner a few times, and I haven't found a situation where I like him. So
Okay.
I've considered cutting it, and with the changes you make, maybe you put a second dunk tank in.
That's
I don't
completely
know.
possible. Yeah.
I just don't see Bolner as useful. Now, obviously, if you play Bolner followed by Primal Dungeoneer, it will obviously you play the Primal Dungeoneer, its battle cry goes off, and since it's a battle cry, it will play its battle cry again.
Right.
So that's good. That's really good card draw. But that's literally the only thing in here I see that's very useful. I mean, Lady Prestor's just
Not
gonna
useful.
re-roll
Yeah.
your deck again. That doesn't really do anything.
And by the time you play Selfless, you probably have already had one weapon in hand or drawn one of the weapons. So
Yeah.
the selfless has actually worked out for me a couple of times where my second copy of Bogspine Knuckles was still in the deck, and you play Selfless for 7, and it draws it and auto equips it. So that's actually come through pretty handy.
Yeah. The Bogstrok could be useful if you play Bolner and then you play Bogstrok, changing 2 minions that aren't Bolner.
Yes.
Then it will do it again.
Yeah.
But that's a really weird situation. If you're winning already.
It's really not with a corrupted Pitmaster.
I agree. But what I'm saying is that if you're in that situation for that to happen, I think you're winning anyways.
That's a good point. So, yeah,
if you're behind, and means you have no board.
Yeah. So like I said,
I don't think
this is an early version. It definitely probably has room for some refinement, but
now,
we're gonna.
I will say.
Go ahead.
I will say the one thing that impressed me with this deck that I didn't think of was Goldshire Null. You can pull off Goldshire Null really early.
Yeah.
And have it, like, I think I got a Goldshire Null off on turn 3, and then on turn 4, I Bogstruck Clackered it to get another 10 drop. And, I mean, mine turned into a bunny, but if it wasn't a bunny, it would have been really, really good.
In my very first game with this deck, I got the Null on turn 1. Let me see exactly.
What?
Okay, so no. I got the Null on turn 3. Then I Lightning Bloomed, plus my coin, to play my Bogstrok Clacker, all on turn 3, and my Null turned into a Scrapyard Colossus on turn 3.
Wow. See, that's what I wanted to happen, but mine turned into a buddy.
Yeah, my opponent conceded the next turn.
Yeah, so. that is the nuts, as they would call it.
Yeah.
I do like this deck. I did play the Kibler version. I had a quest to play minions, and obviously no minion mage wasn't working, and I was having trouble playing Paladin at the time because I hadn't figured out a good counter for no minion mage. I was facing a lot of those. Mm-hmm. So I played this to get my quest done, and actually went like 3-2. It was a pretty good deck.
Yeah. Okay, can we talk about Tiny Toys for a minute? Because
oh my gosh,
Tiny Toys is a 6 mana spell that says summon 4 5 mana minions. Their health
4 or 5.
It's 4.
4, okay.
Their health and defense are all set to 2. So they all come out as 2/2s. but it's 4 5-mana minions at 2/2 for 6
So
mana.
here's my only problem with tiny toys that I have ran into playing this deck. I had a lot of situations where I was able to play Bogspine Knuckles on 5 into tiny toys on 6, swing with my Bogspine Knuckles. And the 2/2s that I got out of the tiny toys were awesome. They had great death rattles. They were good minions. Then I swung with the Bogspine, and the stats were better with the 6 drops, but they didn't have death rattles and such.
Right.
So I was like, technically, stat-wise, I'm better on board, but effect-wise, I wasn't.
Yeah.
So, like, now that wasn't every time, but there were a lot of times that after I evolved those 5 drops, I felt a little underwhelmed. But ultimately, I think in all cases, my opponents ended up conceding.
Oh, yeah. Bogspine on 5 into Tiny Toys on 6 is such a tempo swing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is the power combo. Yeah. And then if they deal with it, if you can find a way to play your selfless sidekick, which is the 7-mana minion, the stats don't matter because its battle cry is to equip a weapon from your deck. So your only weapon in the deck is Bogspine Knuckles. You swing face, it turns into an 8-drop.
Exactly. So.
And 8-drops are not terrible right now. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they are. I think I've gotten Flesh Giant off of him twice.
Yeah, Flesh Giant's a good one.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that, like I said, this deck probably has a little bit of room for refinement, but overall, it's a lot of fun. And we're going to play it a couple of games tonight. So,
yeah, I'm really interested to see if we draw Bolner, if we run into any situations that he's really good in, because that's the only X factor in this deck that I'm thinking it was only put in there by Kibler to appease to the new cards, and I think it can get cut.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're joining us on YouTube, stay tuned for the live play portion of the show. If you are listening via our audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show, you'd like to help support and improve it, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power, because it won't evolve into a Doomsayer now. Yay!
Oh, so true though. So true,
isn't it? I spent all my energy, thinking of that wonderful line. I forgot the launch Hearthstone. So give me a second.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can't wait till the end of the show. I know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. So I'm
excited to play this deck.
Yeah, I am too. I did build I had a quest to play 3 Mage games, so I threw together a Fire Mage, and I didn't win a single game.
Good.
With it. I didn't win a single game with it.
So here's the thing: Fire Mage is good.
Yeah,
it's not great, and it has the tools to be a great deck. But right now, there's a better Mage deck, and it uses fire spells even better. But I think it will become a very good deck.
In the 3 games I played with it, my best achievement was clearing my opponent's board and playing the new Antonidas to send 3 fireballs to their face.
Are you in the game? Because I don't see.
Not yet. I was waiting on you.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't see.
Oh, you don't see me even though I'm...
Oh, there we go. Now you just popped up. That was weird.
Okay.
My friends list went crazy. It was having a rave, man.
All right. So I'm gonna queue, look for an opponent.
Hopefully I can spectate you this week.
You never
We've been having
know.
trouble with this.
Yeah.
There were a lot of issues with spectating and specifically challenging uh,
Yeah.
recently with the client, and I'm hoping they get all that squared away.
Oh, I thought we were going to get the damp druid, but nope.
Oh,
All right, so we are up against a demon hunter.
ooh, this is probably the quest combo Demon Hunter,
Yeah.
though it could be Death Rattle.
So we've got Cage Match Custodian, Lady Prestor, and Canal Slogger. I think we're going to throw back the Lady Prestor and the Canal Slogger. What do you think?
Um, yeah, Canal Slugger can be really strong, but I don't know if he's gonna play minions early enough for us to get the advantage of it. Uh, and it overloads us, so we can't play the weapon on 5. So yeah, I
Right.
think we keep the cage match.
Okay.
Maybe hope we get into a Tiny Toys.
So we drew into Bolner and Pitmaster.
Pitmaster is not bad.
No, and we drew into Canal Slogger. So we are going to pass turn 1.
Ooh, and I don't have the updated version of this deck in my client, so my deck tracker is going to be off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh well. So we got easy cage match on 2. Pitmaster's a little underwhelming on 3 because
I agree.
corrupted. And ooh,
But now we can turn 3 Lightning Bloom Bogspine Knuckles.
we can, which will corrupt the Pitmaster, but we
Which-
won't have the mana to play it on 4.
Right.
Will we?
Over.
No, we won't.
Yeah, no, we won't. We'll only have 2 mana.
Yeah.
So, alright. I'm going to pass. So he's working on drawing 4 cards in 1 turn.
But we will have Bolner with the Pitmaster, which will give us a bunch of 3/2s.
Yep.
Oh, he's doing his thing. So the biggest complaint right now is that Hearthstone's very solitarish.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly your opponent doesn't care what you're doing. They're just gonna, ooh. I think we still bog spine. The question is, do we swing?
I don't think so. I don't
think so either.
I think we sit on it.
I think we do too.
So lightning, Bogspine Knuckles, swing
And go
for
face?
2. Yep, and then just pass.
Hold our face swing.
Yep. So that corrupted our Pitmaster, which is good.
Yep. Kind of have a weak turn 4 play. Ooh, is that outcasted? It is not
It is
outcasted.
not. No.
But he's completed his quest.
Yes, he has.
So he's completed part 2.
That is correct. On turn 3.
Yep, which is basically what they're doing is they're trying to complete the quest as fast as possible. Then they'll do a bunch of draw to reduce their combos.
So do we just? I think we just totem and
Hero power?
Yeah, I think we just hero power swing face, not with our weapon.
Do we not with our weapon?
Do we not save it
No,
for
I don't think
Bolner,
I think we save it.
Bolner Pitmaster next turn and then swing?
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, hero power, go face with the 2/2, and then hang onto the swing. It's a little greedy with our weapon, but honestly, he's probably going to have lifesteal this turn.
Yep.
So he's gone a little fast. I don't think he's going to have skull. So his goal is he's copying his Moarg so that he could shuffle them.
Yeah.
And then
all
draw
right. So
later.
now we're at 5 mana. So
yeah, I think we Bolner. Well, are we gonna have board space?
Not for all the. We'll miss 1.
We'll miss 1.
Yeah.
So swing face with the 3/2.
Yep.
Bolner, Pitmaster, and then swing face with our face. We get. So Bolner gave us 2 extra 3-drops.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering how
Oh.
good that is. Grand Totem doesn't really do
Doesn't really
anything.
do anything. We don't have any totems. Frothing
Yeah.
Berserker. Revenant.
Oh, so we need to clear that. I don't know why he played it blank.
So, do we run in the Revenant?
It's funny we got another bowler.
Yeah. Do we run in the Revenant and then Serpent Shrine?
So I think we run in the Devouring Ectoplasm, which is going to give us another 2/2.
Okay.
And then we hit it with our face.
Do we swing face first?
Oh. Hit it with the 2/5. The Wretched Tutor, so it stays alive. This way, our Frothing Berserker gets bigger, and then we swing face, swing face, swing face, Frothing last, and then now we swing face.
Yep.
And then let's see if we can revolve. Yeah, let's revolve because we might get a chargement. No. Ooh, that's nice though. Yeah, I think we just pass. I mean, they're at 5.
Do we equip the other box spine knuckles?
Yeah. Equip the other box spine.
Yeah.
Because that sets up for lethal next turn, even if he clears. Though he's probably going to use lifesteal to clear. But see, we have a stubborn suspect, which is going to drop a 3-drop.
Yeah.
Also, Cheesemonger is going to give us spells whenever he casts spells.
That's true. That's true.
Which the random spells are the same cost, that might give us burn.
So there's Moarg.
There's one of them.
There's Moarg.
There's the one he copied.
Immolation
That's
Aura.
not lifesteal. And we got Condemn. So it could be of any class.
Yeah.
We got lethal.
Deal 2 damage to all. Serpent Shrine.
Serpent Shrine Portal gives us lethal. Yep. Nice. Serpent Shrine swing.
Sweet.
That's funny.
There's game 1.
Game 1 versus a
very aggressive deck.
Say aggressive, but it's really a combo deck.
Yeah, that's true.
They tend to be able to go off on turn 7, so I think he had a turn where he could have done something better, and he just didn't have the cards for it.
Yeah.
Because he just played a naked Gadget Zane Auctioneer with no spells behind it.
That's very true.
He might as well just pass. And I think he was just keeping his hand space open. He probably had a Skull of Gul'dan for the next turn. Is what I'm guessing. Which is why he's just wanting to have the hand space.
Now we're up against a priest.
Okay. You got some really interesting variety here down at the silver ranks.
Yeah.
So you don't ever want to keep Encumbered Pack Mule because you won't get a second copy of it.
Right.
But Goldshire Knoll,
I think do we just keep Cage Match, Serpent Shrine, and Goldshire?
I don't know if we keep the Serpent Shrine against Priest, but I do like the idea of keeping the Goldshire and the Cage Match.
Okay, and we got the coin, and we're on coin, so...
Oh, we drew box by Knuckles. I would have liked that to have been a lightning.
If I was going to say, if we can draw a lightning bloom, we can do that combo that I did in my first game.
We could. I would like to draw now into the Pack Mule.
Oh, okay.
Because it'll give us another copy.
Which will reduce the cost of the Goldshire Knoll even more.
Yes.
So it's Shadow Priest.
Okay.
So there's the dunk tank. So we're just going to pass.
So I've seen one version of a very aggressive minion-based Shadow Priest. I don't know if that's this version. I didn't see Wand Maker in that deck, so... Ooh, Bogstar Collector.
So... do we just champion?
We can Cage Match. That's not going to change our hand size.
No, it's not.
So that sets us up still.
He's just going to trade and play another one maker.
Okay. I was gonna say probably should use hero power if he was going to use his hero power, but he evidently was not. Oh, Pack Mule.
So there's Pack Mule. So now we've got 4 mana with the coin, so not quite enough to null Clacker.
No, the thing is, if we null and we rush in, he's just gonna ping it off with his hero power, but
Exactly.
he pings it off with his hero power.
Well, yeah, but I mean, or he trades, pings it off, so there's really no reason to play it this turn.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
What if we just hero power here?
I don't hate it. I'm wondering if playing one Pack Mule would be better.
Yeah, I would say we could just play one Pack Mule.
Yeah, let's play one Pack Mule because that way he has to trade and use the hero power.
And next turn we'll draw a card and we'll be able to play both the Goldshire and the Bogstrop.
Yeah, because we can Goldshire coin Bogstrop.
Correct.
Yeah. Place the weapon. Oh, so he's not. Okay, that's going to do 1 damage, so then he can trade still. Okay.
Yep.
Doesn't have a minion to get full value off of. That's a wasted card now, but
it is.
I like Goldshire.
Goldshire.
Coin into Bogstrop, and that sets us up for a Bogspine next turn.
And we got a 10/10 minion.
Brilliant. Is Shadow or Death? Shadow or Death is a shadow spell, yeah.
Yes,
so
it is.
He can be running deaths. I haven't seen that list. Running deaths?
Palm reading.
You can find a death. He could find it. He snap picked pretty fast.
That's what it was.
Oh. So does he clear this? That's a holy spell that he traded. So we can still Bogspine swing.
Yeah, I like that because it's also gonna.
Well, hold on.
It's gonna corrupt the Pitmaster we just drew.
That's true. There's Bogspine swing. The other option is Pack Mule, and then the other Clacker. But that doesn't corrupt.
That's true. It does not. So let's Bogspine swing with the 3/1, swing with the 3/2.
And we played the correct Bogspine. We played the one that we drew off Cage Match Custodian, so he doesn't know we have the other Bogspine Knuckles in our hand.
Correct.
A 3/4, that's an upgrade. And it has spell damage.
Yeah.
And we did corrupt our Dunk Tank.
Yeah, and our Pitmaster.
Well, yeah. It's a good minion hit with our face.
It is.
I hate that the Selfless Sidekick is dead card, but we only run 1 of, so... I mean, we can still evolve it into an 8-drop, but...
Yeah.
Do we Dunk Tank face? Ooh.
Do we Tiny Toys and swing with the 1/3, or just kill the 1/3 with our face?
Yeah, I think we go 3/4. Do we need to clear? No, I don't think we need to clear that Pandaren and Porter. I think we swing to 3/4 to face Tiny Toys, and don't swing face yet. Don't swing with your weapon yet. Let's see if we have any rushes.
We don't.
So then I think we just Bogspine off the 1/3. What do we get?
We got.
Oh my gosh, we got an Imprison and Tayin.
And yeah.
Oh, that's good. We got a sticky minion and damage for later.
Yeah.
And see, the Imprison and Tayin, he can't play the minion that does extra damage with face damage.
Soul Mirror.
Or the Antayin's going to eat him up.
Yeah.
So this is fine. That's really fine.
Yeah.
They're not in a good spot right now. Yeah, he's really worried about that Antayin.
So he's going to raise dead. Okay.
A mistake. They did.
So I think here is where we attack with both 2/2s, we dunk tank, and we play the other Bogstrok.
I like that play.
So attack.
I like that play a lot.
Attack.
Dunk tank face.
Dunk tank
is
face.
Is that 1/1's not going to bother us, right?
No. And then we Bogstrok.
Do we get a rush minion?
No.
It's kind of weak.
But next turn we can Pitmaster Bogspawn. Yep.
And our Antaean's going to wake up, so it'll be a 7-drop. So there's the minion that does all face damage, adds an extra damage. He can't play that minion with Antaean becoming waking up next turn. He just can't do it.
So he's playing the 6 mana or the 6-drop that restores 8 health. That's a smart play.
Yeah, that is a smart play. Hoping we do.
Oh, but he didn't kill it.
It didn't, and we could trade.
Can we kill him without killing this?
We'll see. Serpent Shrine to face. No, I don't see a way to do it.
Okay.
But I think we run the 1/2 in. He's gonna heal. Then we swing the 3/3 in, and then we play the
Pitmaster Bogspawn.
Yeah, I think that's the play. I don't think there was a lethal. Almost positive there wasn't, but we could get a lethal out of this, right? We got
Keymaster Alabaster, so we'll know what he draws.
Oh, we sure will. And we have a sticky minion in the ectoplasm.
Yeah. Okay.
He drew the
Dark Bishop
Benedictus at 1 mana. Why is it 1 mana?
It's 1 mana for us. Because
that's right.
Keymaster sets it to 1.
Yeah, you can tell I don't play much Keymaster. So he's just in a tough spot.
He have another Shadow or Death for the Keymaster?
Probably. Focused Will.
Silence a minion, give it +3 health, okay?
That doesn't remove it.
No.
He's trying to keep us from getting what he draws, but we're just going to kill him.
Yeah. Okay, so he'll get another 8 health. Okay, so we're going to play the Null.
Okay.
Then we're going to Serpent Shrine the 6/6.
Okay.
We're going to clear.
Yeah, but see, they don't die. We could have done the Null, because Null would have stayed alive. Trade the Null into the 4/5 first.
Okay.
Oh, we win, right? Oh, no, we win anyways, don't we?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't die. That was lethal. I wasn't seeing the lethal.
So, all right.
Nice.
Just like that. 2-2.
Just like
or 2-0. Yeah.
Just like that. Now, mind you, we are sitting in the silver ranks, but still, I mean, your MMR is not absolutely terrible, and for most of our listeners are probably comparable to your MMR.
Yeah.
Because you had like a 5x star bonus.
I had a 6 when I started.
6-star bonus. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you're sitting around that 4 to 7 star bonus, is probably gonna be a good deck for you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's you got to see the Null into the Bogstrok on turn 4
like twice.
And
did.
Then you got to see the Bogspine into Tiny Toys. So I mean, you got to see what this deck does well. And we even got to do the Bolner into Pitmaster.
And the Bolner into Pitmaster felt very underwhelming.
It did.
So
it did.
If you were wanting to make this deck, but you don't have Bolner, maybe swap it out for a Dunk Tank or any other Battlecry minion that you think would be good. Because I honestly don't think you need Bolner in this deck.
I can get behind that assessment. So, all right, gang, that's 2-0. That's gonna do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show or the deck that we played tonight, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you've not done so already. And if you are interested in our patron-only Discord, head on over to patreon.com/heropower, where you too can join for as little as $1 a month. Until next week, good gaming.
Bye, guys.